Okay, what up ladies and gents, favorite Asian robot right here, hopefully your favorite official content creator for the First Descendant, and today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you about Serena, her Void Erosion Purge build, and the Malevolent build for Void Erosion Purge that you guys have been wanting. Can you use it in other content? Yeah, probably, but quite frankly, I like the Malevolent just for Void Erosion Purge. Okay, I find it very useful in there. Now, without further ado, I'm going to get started on this build, and of course, this video is a little bit later because I've got stuff to do on Monday, so there's only going to be one stream on Monday, so I figured I'd just do this video a little bit later at a different time slot. Take it a bit easy on Sunday while I work on my music. Now, speaking of my music, all right, before we get into this, let me just do a quick advertisement right here. If you guys haven't heard about it yet, I currently make AI music. All right, this is my music channel. I would appreciate it if you guys would subscribe here and check out some of my tunes. It's up to you whether you want to or not, but all of this is AI generated. We are mostly focusing on the folk metal genre, but there's a lot of good stuff coming, so please look forward to that. And don't forget, we also actually release our music on major music streaming platforms. This is my Spotify page. I'm RealAsianRobot there. I know you can't really see it unless I move it across, but basically I'm RealAsianRobot there. I'm also on Apple Music, YouTube Music, Amazon Music. I'm everywhere. So all you got to do is look for RealAsianRobot. The Call of Land is my first EP. Look for that, and if you decide to support me, I'm very grateful. All right, thank you very much for listening to that short advertisement. Let's get into this build. All right, so first things first, let's go through the Malevolent. The Malevolent is a fantastic hand cannon. All right, baseline, it comes out with 46,349 firearm attack. This has been boosted through the cores and all that. The main important thing to understand about this is that it has practically no critical hit rate or damage. So we'll be sacrificing that, and we'll be making use of the weak point damage, as well as, although it's kind of low, we'll still be making use of the multi-hit damage on this item to try and squeeze out a little more extra damage. But the main thing for this gun is weak point damage, all right? Now, the effective range of this weapon, FYI, is a bit longer than some of the other weapons. It's actually longer than the last dagger, by the way. This gun is effective up to 25 meters, and although it has an impressive accuracy, once you start firing it fast, the spread is going to go to crap. So it doesn't really matter how much accuracy you have up here. The spread for hand cannons is massive when you start rapid firing them, so take note of that. Also, one last little thing, it comes with baseline toxic attack damage, which cannot be changed. Therefore, you're going to lose a little bit when using it in Void Erosion Purge, because the toxic attack is not really going to help you, and you're not even going to boost it, so that's a bit of wasted damage. But the Malevolent is so strong, thanks to its unique ability, that this doesn't really matter. And I'll go through the rolls in a second. Let's speed through the unique ability of this gun first. Okay, for this particular gun, the unique ability is that when you hit an enemy, it will create a bladed cog. The bladed cog will bounce between multiple enemies to deal damage. On hitting weak points, there are additional bladed cogs created. You create 3 bladed cogs on a normal hit and 4 on a weak point hit. It will bounce up to 5 times, and it does 24% of your firearm damage. So the more damage you're dealing, the more the cog will deal. Okay, so that is what is fantastic about this. Now, this means that this gun comes with high damage and AoE to boot. So what kind of rolls are you looking for this gun? For this particular gun, what you are going to need is the following rolls. Now, these are the rolls I'm using. If you have a different set of rolls, by all means, please use your rolls. But this is what I found works for me and helps me to maintain a balance while still getting through Void Erosion Purge. Am I getting the best possible times? Nah. But is this comfortable to use? Yeah. So, up to you, all right? I went with 2 chill attack rolls, 1 firearm attack roll, and 1 rounds per magazine, as well as a fire rate roll. This gave me the best bang for my buck. But again, if you guys have other preferences, please, by all means, go for it. As for the weapon readjustment rolls, okay, you want a firearm attack, chill attack, and weak point damage roll to be gold. You don't need the bonus firearm attack versus Colossus. Please replace that with whatever you want. You can go with rounds per magazine or any other roll for that slot. You can even go bonus damage versus Legion of Darkness, and you would probably do even better in Void Erosion Purge. But the reason I have the bonus firearm attack versus Colossus is because I couldn't roll anything else, and I really didn't want to readjust it even more. I plan to refine the readjustments at a later date, but I couldn't do so before the deadline for this video. Okay, so that's about it for the weapon and the rolls, stats, all that. Let's talk about the modules. All right, let's talk about the modules. For the modules for this particular gun, here is what you are going to need. You are going to need, all right, Rifling Reinforcement, Action and Reaction, these are your base modules to boost your firearm attack. If you're going to replace any of these, please replace Rifling Reinforcement, but choice is up to you. Okay, Chill Enhancement, Chill Priority, that's standard for your elemental damage. You want to have Weak Point Sight and Have Aiming to boost up your weak point damage as much as possible. You'll sacrifice some accuracy, but like I said, it really doesn't matter because the spread on this gun is going to be insane anyway once you're rapid firing. Then I've also got Multi-Piercing Sights, which helps me deal more multi-hit damage, and multi-percussion sight, which helps me have a higher chance, which helps give me a 25% chance. Oh my god, my mouth was not working there. It helps give me a 25% chance of scoring a multi-hit. So this gun will have a multi-hit damage multiplier of 0.33 and a multi-hit chance of 25%. Not fantastic, but you know, it is what works. Have I thought about trying other things? Yes. If you think about it, multi-hit induction realistically can give you up to a 57% chance, but this is best for highly accurate weapons because although you can have up to 10 stacks of the 5.7% multi-hit chance, the problem is that you lose 2 stacks per failed weak point attack, and when you see the spread on the reticle, it's actually pretty massive. All right. Now, for your ultimate module, I used weak point expansion. You might say, wait a second, doesn't this only buff one shot? And it's like got a cooldown of 5 freaking seconds. Why would you use this? Okay, because of Serena's ability, all right, whatever damage you deal is going to be what is boosted by her Redemption's Judgment, right? So if you hit with the highest possible damage on that one shot and it triggers Redemption's Judgment, that explosion is also going to deal massive damage, right? So that's why I went with weak point expansion. Sure, it only works every 5 seconds, but it can ensure that you get a bit of extra burst damage. So that's why I'm using it here. If you've got better choices, better modules you want to use, then by all means go ahead. This is what works for me, so this is what I've got. Okay? And of course you need fire rate up because there is no gun that goes without this. This is absolutely necessary at all times. All right? Because you want to be able to deal damage as quickly as possible, even if you sacrifice accuracy for it. Okay, and that's basically the gun's modules. Now, for Serena's Void Erosion Purge, I'm going to speed through this. Your reactor is the same as before. Fire singular with cooldown skill cost. You do not need a mounting for this. We tested it, and Serena's Redemption's Judgment has nothing to do with your reactor's mounting. So even if your reactor is not mounted, your damage is exactly the same with Redemption's Judgment. Okay. Now for your external components, we have a 2 set of Hunter and a 2 set of Annihilation Memory. This doesn't give us a lot of hit points to work with, but it does give us more cooldowns and more duration, which again is necessary so that Serena's Divine Surge will have a cooldown of 22.7 seconds, as well as a duration of 23.7 seconds for Redemption's Judgment. This means that you will always be able to recast this and, you know, utilize your Divine Surge fully. Your Redemption's Judgment fully. I always call that Divine Surge. All right, so this is what we've got. Standard rolls on your external components, max hit points for your auxiliary power. I still have a purple roll on this. I haven't been able to find a better one. Once I upgrade this, she'll deal even more damage. For your Hunter sensor, max MP, and please get MP recovery in combat. Unfortunately, what I've got is HP recovery modifier, but again, the max MP is what I was going for. Annihilation Memory, defense, MP recovery modifier. Annihilation processor, you go usually max shield, shield recovery modifier. But in this particular case, you can go, all you really need is the max shield. Okay, that's all you really want. And this will give you the best bang for your buck. Okay, now, last but not least, I'm going to go through Serena's modules. Serena's modules, specifically for the Void Erosion Purge, are a little bit different. You're going to be utilizing him. Why him? This makes it so that your third skill, when you execute it in the air, it gives you Hymn of Vitality. This gives you a 40% movement speed increase, which is absolutely fantastic for Serena when she's rushing through the Void Erosion Purge. Okay. Then for your modules, you want mid-air maneuvering. I always use this, but you can use something else if you want to. The choice is yours. Some people like long distance maneuvering. I just go with mid-air maneuvering because I'm lazy. Okay. For her modules, you will need as much cooldown as possible. So please grab Nimble Fingers, MP Conversion, and Focus on Fire. You do not have to upgrade your Focus on Fire. Okay, you're not utilizing any skill damage here. So all you really need is an unupgraded version of this for the skill cooldown of 6.1 and you're good to go. That's all the cooldown you will need. Next, increased HP and stim accelerant are a must-have. You do not have a choice on this matter. All this will drastically reduce your max MP, which is why your max MP roll for your sensor is so important. Because even with this, you're only scoring about 279 MP, and that is pretty pitiful. So, but unfortunately, if you want the best damage, you have to use these modules, so you've got no choice. Because stim accelerant will give you the best bang for your buck. All right. In terms of your other modules, you're going to have increased shield, overwhelming HP, so you can transfer your shields to hit points, and weighing the scales. Okay, all this will help you gain more shields and also reduce a bit of skill cost. Next, maximize duration and skill extension are absolutely important because you need the duration on this to be as long as possible, so you don't have options on that. And that is basically her build explained, okay? And now we'll move on to show you the inversion reinforcer, the Arche tuning, and then we're going to do the demonstration of the build in the Void Erosion Purge. Stage 30, of course. Solo. Now, for one last thing to note, for your fellow, I would recommend using the Vesper's Hunting Dog. You can use the Hagio Sheepdog, but you'll have to use your first skill a bit more often to maintain your ammunition. I prefer the Vesper's Hunting Dog because he gives me a little bit of leeway in case I forget to use my first skill. You'll be using your first skill for healing as well anyway, so you don't really need the Hagio Sheepdog, so I chose the Vesper's Hunting Dog. But you don't have to use him because he only restores ammo once every 40 seconds, and it's not really that much, but it can help bridge your ammo gap. Okay, so for Inversion Reinforcer, you are going to specifically want Evolutionary Cutting Mechanism. 2 extra bladed cogs is nothing to sniff at. It's a major increase to your DPS. You also want Strike Point Amplification because you can have up to 27% extra weak point damage, and all it takes is landing a multi-hit with a firearm, which you will do so regardless because you're going to be firing a lot of bullets. Next is your Chill Focus Rounds. You want this because of the bypass immunity debuff, as well as the fact that you're going up against Legion of Darkness. You better bring some chill. All right. For your Arche tuning, this is what I've got. I went down here to grab as many hit point nodes as possible, as well as the enhanced max hit points. Then I went to the left side and I focused on multi-hit. All right, so I've got enhanced multi-hit, the multi-hit damage, and a little bit of multi-hit chance here. This brings my final multi-hit chance up to 29.75%, and my final multiplier is 0.362. Not a lot, but it does help. Okay, so this is what I've got for this particular build. Now, you've heard it all. Let's go have a demonstration. Okie dokie day. I'm not going to waste your time. Let's get right into it. We're going to do a solo run. I'm going to show you how I play it. Again, I cannot achieve the fastest possible time. I'm far from a speed runner. What I like to do is I just put out a build that works. And, you know, you can play it without hemorrhaging your brain too much. All right, it's just do this specific thing at this time. I try to make it as simple as possible, you know, although I know that there's a great many people that got offended by that one time that I said, you know, some TFD players have a real skill issue. Like, dude, I literally try and make my builds as simple as possible, so you do you, boo. All right, first kick off with your Divine Redemption or whatever. I always call it Divine Surge, sorry. Then all you want to do is just boost with your third skill. All right, use it so that you reload your gun, plus you get to move faster. Then just aim at the head of a big dude, go up close and personal, and just start shooting. That's it. That's all you got to do. All right, try to avoid reloading normally where possible. And if you're caught out in the open, you will die, so try not to die. All right, use your first skill to heal, and just go for some big guy. Doesn't matter which is the big guy, go for any of them, or one of them, whatever, and they'll just die off like that, okay? Then you float back up, use your first skill. This will help restore your ammo. All right, and you just go ham on him. Just go ham on him like that. It's that easy. I always go for the biggest dude. Just murder him like that. Easy peasy. All right, get used to this casting technique, and that's it. Grab the MP whenever you see it because you're gonna need it. All right, the boosted movement speed will help you overcome a lot of stuff, so abuse that as well. You don't have to use the first skill, but it can be a big help. All right. And make sure you're in the air when you cast, because don't forget, their fourth skill has a completely different ability on the ground. All right. Don't say I didn't warn you, but y'all should already know that. If you do not know that, then, well, best you pay attention now. All right. If my ammo and stuff is full, I usually don't bother too much with the first skill. All right, so I can save a little bit of extra MP. But the choice at the end of the day is going to be yours. The main thing is just keep up your abilities. Go for the big guy, and then, you know, reload your gun with your third skill. There you go. All right, you can use your third skill for a quick snappy reload anytime. Abuse that. All right, avoid that reloading time wherever possible. Where possible. I know you cannot totally avoid it, but it is wise to just avoid it as much as possible because you don't want to waste time. Okay, there's one guy back here.
My shield has been damaged. It appears I am in danger.
Just trust in Serena's skills. And if you need to heal, cast your first skill. All right, and just go ham. Just keep going ham.
My shield has been damaged.
Quickly sight an elite and just go ham.
My shield faltered. Oh no. My shield faltered. My shield.
Even through the dudes, I'll always just go for the biggest elite that I can find. All right, it's just a faster way to spread the damage. You don't really want to waste time with small fries. All right, that's how you do it. Then once you get to the big boss, start blasting him. And this is where I will use my first skill because here it's absolutely crucial that you restore your ammo. Okay, try to break him as soon as possible. And if you can avoid it, don't... Oops. Let yourself heal and then take him out. All right, as much as you possibly can. You kind of need this because this is how you survive. All right, keep up your MP with the drops and you should be okay. But the most important thing is keep up your ammo. All right. Try to take advantage of his shots when you're in the air because don't forget, you get damage reduction when you're in the air. And there you go. That's it. There's the mission completed right there. How long does it take? About 3 minutes 59 seconds with this. Again, you're not going to be the fastest. You're not going to get the 2.5 minute runs, but I mean, you are about a minute and a half slower, but it'll just get you through it without too much difficulty. So once you practice, you'll be able to do this. All right. So this is what I did. I've tried out a few different methodologies, but this is the laziest and easiest method that has worked for me. And that's it. All right, guys, have fun farming Void Erosion 30. Enjoy this build. Okay, and y'all have a good time. All right. Now, before I go, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Don't forget to check out some of my music. All right. And here are March's top supporters. Top tipper is CG Mayhem. Top tipper is Jesse Davis. Top super chatter Lawbreaker. Top super chat list includes George Tishon, Sir Tommy, Jonathan Terry, D. Russ, Matthias M, Jody Wilkins. Arcane Silver is our top channel membership gifter. Jody Wilkins, Chris Campbell, Matthias M, D. Russ, all the same lovely people who are always supporting our stream. Thank you so much for everything that you guys do for me. I really, really appreciate that. You guys are amazing. All right. Thank you so much. And last but not least, don't forget to check out my music. All right. I'm looking for more listeners. See you on the next one, fam.